Yo, welcome back, guys, to another video. Uh, I know that I was playing Minecraft, and I had this, like, theory thing. And, like, wait, why don't people, like, play, like, Trump, though? Cause, like, so, why don't people are, like, playing, no, like, not playing Trump, but, like, why I never, like, did a video, like, a reaction video about Trump that got set up negative. So that's why we're doing another reaction podcast episode in which is about Trump. Getting rid of Jack Story theory out of there. So make sure you follow Mob at Fresh Podcast wherever you follow your podcast. And make sure you subscribe to the Mob at Fresh channel so you won't miss another reaction video like this one. And let's get started.
Welcome back to the It Is What It Is podcast. If you are joining us for the first time, hit that subscribe button. And today we have a very special episode because
very special.
We have lineage in here. And by that I mean we have me and my brother, NCK. Special. But we also have the one that we came from.
Yes.
IBD, our dad. You guys loved him when he came on last time, and you guys have been requesting him back, and we just thought today would be a great day to bring it back. But before we get into IBD, we got a little bit of an announcement to make. NCK, I think it's only right with your attire.
I mean, you guys see me in this outfit. You're probably wondering, yo, why are you dressed like that? Cowboy hat on, little denim fit. It is because me and Ricky dropped our very first country song and music video out now on Ireland Boys Productions, the main channel. We'll leave a link in the top of the description. Everybody, go check it out. It's a little movie, that music video.
A movie.
Might be our best one yet.
Just a great time, and I'm so excited to see your guys' reaction to the song because we grew up not really listening to the country at all, right?
Not at all, man.
But now,
no country in our house. I don't dislike country, but there was no country in our house when you were growing up. No.
But now it's like, buddy, we've gone full on.
I
I got the truck now, and we're dressing with the cowboy hats. I can't lie, it's a great time.
It's a good time.
It's a good wholesome vibes. It's been.
It is
so
wholesome vibes.
Are they authentic or not? Because what they say, if they're not authentic, is they're all hat and no cattle.
I
don't know. You guys can make a comment below.
Hey, man,
but I think they're buying into the lifestyle. IBM and I, we drop in, and they're, you feel that country vibe, especially you jump in Ricky's truck. You hear the music all the time, and I'm loving the country music, man.
You jump in the truck, and then the house. Me and Ricky, we're moving back into the house. That house, it's out there in the middle of nowhere, kind of. Feels like the country. You're driving by some grass fields on the way
cows.
To the house.
There's like
literally cows.
Literally llamas on the way, or alpacas or something.
Alpaca farm right down the street.
Yeah. Wait. Yep.
I mean, that's not what we're here to talk about today. Everybody go check that song out. But crazy times we are living in right now. Part of the reason why we wanted to bring IBD on here, he's more tapped into the political space more than me and Ricky, I would say. What do you say?
Yeah, I kind of stay on top of the news.
Buddy's being humble right now. Buddy knows everything before it happens. I didn't even know.
No, literally, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I have to tell the story.
Yes, tell the story.
I have to tell the story. Me and IBD, we took my car into the shop, and I was with IBD. We got lunch after, and then we were just talking about stuff. And then we were talking about the election because the debate just happened.
Literally a week ago.
And we're just talking about like Trump and Biden, how the debate went. Like, can't believe that debate was actually real life. They're talking about their golf handicaps live on the broadcast, just roasting each other the whole time. And then IBD said that if it goes farther, that he thinks that someone is going to try to pull an assassination attempt on Trump because of how bad Joe Biden looked and how bad it's looking for the Democrats. You literally said that
a week
ago.
Dang, I didn't even know that.
And then not even a month later, someone attempts to assassinate Trump.
No.
Shot
What
in
do
the
you
air.
mean? I said that a
No,
week
that
ago.
was a week ago when your car
We
broke,
took
bro.
your car in.
You haven't even had your car for a month.
Yeah, we took your car in, and what's the day? Recording this on
16th.
Tuesday.
Tuesday,
We took your
16th.
car in Tuesday or Wednesday. We said that. So literally 3-4 days later, Trump was shot,
Yeah, it was.
Right?
Yeah,
and we had that conversation
Yeah.
last Tuesday or Thursday.
You always
Again,
have
Tuesday
good-
or Thursday before he was shot.
You always have good insight and foresight into not the future, kind of the future, like of either politics or business or like how money's being moved and what's going to go up. Not that you're always right, but Buddy's Steph Curry from the free throw line. He makes 92% of those shots.
But in the old days, that was considered wild conspiracy theories. But when
So
and
it's kind of like
and I don't want to say I'm a conspiracy
doing,
theorist
you
by no
know that?
means, right? Practical, but too many of these things that are conspiracy theories turn out 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years later to be true.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking all the way back to the Kennedy assassination,
yeah.
and whether that was an inside job or not. I would have never thought that, but a year ago, I think it's possible.
Can you break down? You were explaining why you thought they might try and attempt to assassinate Trump.
And go into like the whole thing, because I know probably everyone watching already knows there was an assassination attempt on Trump, but all the details and everything that you were like kind of telling us and talking to us before leading up, because seeing the other perspective, at a glance, you just think, oh, it was just someone that took a shot. But then there's so much more behind the scenes and how many people had to mess up for that even to happen.
What you want to talk about before, what we thought it would happen?
Talk about why you thought that there might be an assassination attempt in the first place before it happened.
You know, there is a deep state in the government. You know, what's the deep state? You know, it's just these are bureaucrats, non-elected people that stay in from administration to administration.
Yeah.
So they were there under Obama, they were there under Trump, they were there under Clinton. And
I see that.
they pull the strings more and more. They seem to be the ones running the government. So
the deep state, the people they've been there for who knows.
administration. They're not elected. They're not elected officials. Think about it. You come in as a new president, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Donald Trump was never in politics before.
Yeah.
You immediately have to hire hundreds of people, right?
Yeah.
And you would like to believe that everybody's there for the same good of the American public, the American people, and you're going to trust a lot of the people that are in.
Are you a Roblox fanatic? Microsoft Rewards has a brand new way for you to earn digital gift cards from Roblox.
In place, but it seemed like early on they were operating against what the president wanted. And it's not what the president wants, it's what the people want. We vote for them to represent us, not to exercise their will, but to exercise our will. And so now this time around, the only way you're going to stop him, and you know, you can think what you want about Tucker Carlson, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
But he said the same thing, that the only way, they will not allow Trump to get back into office.
Yes.
At any cost.
If he does, there'll be an assassination attempt.
Yeah.
I believe it. Now, was this an inside job? I'm not going there. I was talking to Ricky on the way over here. One thing I like to do when it comes to anything like this, before I make any kind of statement or opinion, is wait at least 24 hours.
Okay.
Do a little overnight challenge with the information.
Yeah, overnight challenge with information, exactly. Marinate on it, because 9 out of 10 stories that come out in the beginning are going to be wrong. And with social media, I mean, you guys know this now, it's not who's right, it's who's first. So everybody wants to be first, and they're putting something out to get a click. And the news is as clickbaity as, you know, thumbnails for overnight challenges.
But
It's all
our
clickbait.
thumbnails aren't even clickbaity because we actually do what it says.
Exactly. You guys are legit. So the news, we used to think the news was legit. If you guys were ever non-legit in your overnight challenges, you'd lose credibility to all the overnight challenges. And right now, the news has been proven to be untrue, which lets you to believe that they've been untrue all along.
Did you see? This is a real headline from CNN. You probably saw this. We'll pop this picture up. It says, Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally. After he falls.
That's crazy.
So Saturday when it happened.
Clearly, there was more than you didn't just fall.
But,
they're right.
Yo, listen to this. Ready? Trump took a shot in the ear, went down for a second because they all pushed him down to protect him, got back up, raised his fist, and immediately was ready to go. Biden tried to walk down stairs from a plane. Upstairs from a plane.
Even easier.
Yeah.
Even easier. And took an L.
I mean, I've fallen downstairs before. I stumbled on a stair. I've never fallen upstairs. But go back to this headline. So I got a text on my phone that something was happening with Trump. I forget what the original text was. And the first thing I saw was Trump falls. And I said, oh, great.
Yeah.
The world's waiting for Biden to fall. And now Trump falls, and they're going to make a big deal out of it. Trump falls, and the Secret Service has to take him out. And then I see he was shot. And so I click on the video, right? This is the first I've heard of it. I click on the video, and I'm literally 20 seconds in, and the phone rings. And it's Nick. And I'm like, I want to finish watching this 2-minute video before I answer Nick. Because it's historic. The president or future president or someone running for office and a former president was shot.
And
that's
one of the
huge.
I'm not famous, but what's the word? Like one of the most
polarizing
presidents
out there. A
polarizing people in history in general.
Exactly. So I'm like, but I don't. I take the phone call from Nick, and Nick says, hey, Diesel, you know why I'm calling, don't you? Well, Nick's car was in the shop. I think he wants to talk about the car and what we're going to do and how we're going to get it fixed. And I said, yeah. I said, but I don't feel like talking about your car right now. He said, no. He said, the president was shot. And so, I don't know, it was kind of a surreal moment. I was 3 years old when Kennedy was shot, John F. Kennedy. But I remember his brother, Bobby Kennedy, who was running for president in 1968. I was 7. I remember when he was shot.
He was as well?
Yes. Robert F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy Jr., who's running for president now, his dad, Robert Kennedy Sr., was running for president. He had been attorney general under John F. Kennedy. So John F. Kennedy is shot and killed. 1968, his brother, Robert Kennedy, is running for president and is shot and killed in June before the convention, about a month ago, and the convention is coming up, and there was this chaotic convention in Chicago to see who was going to take his place because he was shot and killed. And here's the crazy thing. Robert Kennedy Jr. is running for president, and he's got 15-20% of the vote.
Really? As an independent?
As an independent.
Is that the largest it's ever been?
Ross Perot, before that, Ross Perot got 20%. But he was denied a chance to run against Biden on the Democratic ticket, so he ran independent. And he's been denied Secret Service protection until yesterday. This is a guy running for president that has a significant foothold, even if it's 10%. He deserves Secret Service protection. It's been denied repeatedly.
When do you get Secret Service protection? When you become a president?
I guess it's determined in the running when you're a significant candidate, right? Not only is he a significant candidate,
he's the brother.
But his dad and his uncle were assassinated. The guy's got a target on his back, so they gave him Secret Service protection yesterday.
Yeah.
But who did they give him to protect? A woman that's 5'2"? Because that's what they did to Trump.
Well, then we were talking about that. God bless the Secret Service and all they do. Mm-hmm. I think there were heroes on the ground. I saw that. They jumped in front. They're to jump in front of him and literally train to take a bullet. You talked about, I think you mentioned his shoes, or maybe we hadn't mentioned that yet. Trump says, the whole story behind, he said, get my shoes, get my shoes. He said, they hit me like a linebacker so hard they knocked me out of my shoes. And he said, my shoes are on tight.
Yeah.
They literally knocked Trump out of his shoes.
Damn.
Right? So they tackle him.
Damn.
Right? He goes down.
Like,
They
how
tackle
did
him.
they
They're
have him,
covering
though?
him. So if anybody shoots, they're going to shoot these Secret Service people. So they're heroes. Right?
Yeah.
The failure wasn't on their part. The failure was on the planning.
Okay.
And if you look at that, I was listening to some Secret Service, former Secret Service people. They said a 10-year-old who plays, not Fortnite, what's the other game we were talking about?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. A 10-year-old who plays Call of Duty would look at
Yeah.
that site and
Damn.
identify that as the most likely place a sniper would come from.
Can you
If
break,
you-
break
yeah.
down
Yeah.
like what it looks
How
like
the
for
stage
people
was
that don't know?
and where everything is. Because if you look at a drone shot, I looked at it. It's
A picture right here.
can we pop that picture up?
Yes,
Let's pop that picture up.
150 yards away.
Yeah,
Big-
450
Bruh,
feet.
What
Like a
the
big
hell
building,
am
right?
I looking
Dude,
at?
it's the most significant. It's not like the sniper was in a tree in camouflage all the way like a mile away and hit a
Yeah.
crazy thing.
Yeah.
He was on the biggest building, the biggest nearest building. The biggest nearest building. That should be the first place that you cover. And how does someone get up there in the first place? Their job.
There was a ladder that went up there, right?
They say the
How
ladder
is
is
there not
attached to the wall.
How is there not a Secret Service
it
member
was.
on that roof either? It's such a big roof. It's the only significant roof in the local area.
Mall
Yeah.
cop walking around is enough to deter somebody. Just a mall cop walking around that building continuously
What the hell?
is
Mall?
enough to cause somebody to
Like-
hesitate that they're going to be caught.
Like, that's not.
It makes
What the
no
What the hell?
sense.
What the
So
fuck?
we were talking
Can I say that?
Yeah, and how
communication. So you said that maybe he can pop it up. There is a video out there that shows the timeline synced between Trump speaking when he gets shot and the people saying, there's a guy on the roof, there's a guy on the roof with a gun. And they're synced side by side, that video. I don't know if you can find that to put it up. But they're yelling, there's a guy on the roof with a gun. There's law enforcement there.
Okay.
But there's a failure of communication between, okay, is he legit? Maybe he's a sniper for the city police and not part of the Secret Service. I've heard that's why they hesitated to shoot, because they weren't sure whether he was one of the friendlies or not. While you're figuring that out, you get Trump off the stage. You walk him off the stage and figure out whether this guy's a friendly or not.
exactly? And how do they not do that? Like you see someone on a roof and you see that they saw that he had a gun with a scope, and now afterwards people are saying, oh, maybe he was just a guy trying to get a closer view with a scope on top of a gun. You're trying to get a closer view, but it's like how do they not instantly go, we can't identify this guy? Maybe they give him one chance because they think he's on the same radio frequency, and they go, identify yourself. And if he doesn't answer like that, you go, okay, this guy's probably bad. Err on the side of caution. Get Trump down, then figure out who he is, and then you do that. Not wait 3 minutes. 3 minutes is a long time.
Exactly.
Some people can run a mile in almost 3 minutes.
I'm hearing now, and there's a quote, I got a screenshot of it. I don't know if this is real. This is why you wait. But that the sniper on the roof, the good guy, was told to stand down, not to engage even after the shot was made. Now, I find that hard to believe, but this is a quoted text.
From who? From who?
From that sniper.
Yeah.
Right, but again, that one I find hard to believe. But local law enforcement may not shoot until shot upon. That might be the rule of engagement. But the Secret Service, if there's a guy with a rifle pointed at the president, what's his name?
Shoot first,
ask questions later. In that situation, shoot first, ask questions later. And again, communication. If you guys fail to communicate on your videos, and we talk about this all the time, communication in your business, communication in relationships, right?
Yeah.
Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, family, communication is key.
Whatever.
If those guys, local law enforcement, saw him on the roof, couldn't or didn't communicate back to the Secret Service, hey, we got something strange going on over here. Take a look at it. Get the president out there until we figure it out.
Yeah.
Take him out. I mean, you let him take a shot before you shoot back. It's either poor planning at the very top, gross incompetence, or it was allowed to happen.
Yes.
Either way, the head of the Secret Service has got to go. The buck stops here. I mean, that was that.
And who's the head of the Secret Service that you were saying? That you were telling me earlier?
Her name's Cheeto. I think she was in charge of Pepsi security. Elon Musk said she was in charge of protecting Cheetos before the Secret Service. You know, I don't know her thing. I don't know
because Pepsi company makes all that stuff.
Cheetos, yeah. But
you said a crazy joke in the car. I want you to hit it again.
Yeah.
If you can.
There's a lot of talk about DEI hiring and were the Secret Service incompetent again. I think they're all heroes.
Yes.
Anybody who would volunteer to put themselves in that way. But I tell you what.
You think they can be compromised?
They can.
That's what some people. I'm not saying that I think this, but I mean, there's a lot of people that think.
Well, let's go down that.
Let's
go down that route in a second. But let's talk about the Secret Service.
He came on this pod and said, "I'm running this."
This guy said he dabbles in.
And
he's like, oh, I know a little bit about.
He just goes on
a little bit about.
But no, Ricky. Ricky asked me a question.
Let Nick finish saying.
Okay. No, I got interrupted. Take off.
No, my turn. Then we go.
It's been your turn, bud.
I
want to say to everyone out there, this is a very different episode than what we usually film. So if you're new, make sure you check out all the other episodes. But also, I think it's very interesting to just talk about and just see, because this is real world stuff. Because sometimes on the pod we just joke around, but this is real life. We're living in a history lesson in real time. Like they're going to talk about this. You're going to go to school, and this is going to be in the history books.
It's a real different
life hasn't felt real.
Well,
you know, I was telling Ricky on the way over here. It's
like what?
You guys have access to way more information than I did when I was your age. We had 3 channels:
So this is like real
ABC,
world
CBS,
stuff.
and NBC.
So
And they reported the news, and we believed that they were telling us the truth in the best interest. Now you've got
it was easy
independent
to program
journalists.
everyone's minds.
Easy to program everybody's minds.
But now everyone's talking, like people are talking, and the truth comes out when people start talking. That's why you can't talk. They used to be able to communicate with each other and then just keep the information within their own. And they just feed you entertainment and feed you bad food, and then you just have just enough to get by and not revolt. And now people are waking up and realizing they don't want this. And I think the government or whoever the deep state is realizes they're losing power.
The more decentralized, the better. And back then, news came and information came because it was centralized, one source.
Am I allowed to talk?
I thought this was. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You know Andrew Tate, right?
I know Andrew Tate.
You've heard of him.
I see us, but I don't follow him. But I know who Andrew Tate is.
There's 3 things they try to do to stop you once you start getting too much power. Kind of like that's what's saying. He's saying that he was getting a lot of notoriety and power, and they would try to stop him because he was speaking his mind on stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And the 3 things are this: first, they ban you on social media. They limit your speech, your ability to
your reach. They close your reach
to the public. Yeah. So that happened to Trump. When did that happen? Like a little bit ago, right?
During his whole,
Oh, it was a year or 2 ago. He was off of Facebook. He was off of. He's been back on Twitch or X for a year. So it's been a while ago. But go ahead.
And then the second thing, they throw you in jail. That's what they just tried to do with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the third thing, they try to kill you. Just happened.
Facts.
But guess what?
Yeah.
He pushed through all of it and made it out. So it's like, come on, bro.
So
that's a leader, bro. That's a leader, you know?
I have a lot of respect for Mr. Trump. No, because he's a billionaire. He could be doing whatever he wants. Just chilling on a beach, relaxing, no worries. Billions of dollars in the bank. But instead, he's taking on one of probably the most stressful positions, target on his back. So many people hate him. And he doesn't have to do what he's doing to try and be president. But it seems like that he actually cares.
So that's
what it seems like to me.
It seems like he actually cares, yeah.
Why else would you put yourself and your family through this? You know, yeah, he's got an ego, but I believe he loves this country. Now, you can believe in his policies or not, but I don't think you can doubt that he loves this country. But let's go back.
He's a leader. And at the end of the day, the president is only one person, and they have a lot of say in everything, but it comes down to all the people that all make those decisions. But I think one of the biggest qualities for a president is to you feel like he can lead. Do you feel like that? Biden can't even lead his wife down the stairs.
The president is a decider. The military brings him information, economists, etc. They bring all this information, and he decides. He's the decider, right? Yeah. And Trump has confidence in making his decisions, right or wrong. I don't get that confidence from Joe Biden. And again, even if you believe in Biden's policies, Joe Biden's not the one to implement them. Joe Biden is not running this country. If you saw the debate, that man is not making the decisions. So who is?
Isn't that crazy?
Who's behind the curtain?
He is the leader of the free world and maybe the most powerful person right now. And it's that guy.
Yeah.
Crazy?
Would you hire him to run this podcast?
Yeah, but we were talking about the other day.
Would you hire him as a Walmart greeter? And
I don't know.
Maybe you think he's been a great leader for the 50 years he's been in office. He's been a senator since he was 29 years old.
I would not.
But eventually,
he's still not the man. Now, if you believe those policies, it's got to be somebody else. But was this a setup or not?
Yes.
Part of it is, and I've been saying this for a while, since Trump first came down the escalator in 2015, 16.
Yeah.
The other side, the mainstream media, has been saying he's a threat to democracy. Yeah. He's Hitler. He will end this country if he's elected again. We got 4 years of history. The country didn't end. You might not agree with his policies, but the country didn't end. But they've demonized him so bad that I honestly believe, and I've been saying this for a while, I honestly believe 20% of the country believes that he's Hitler.
And they don't even know why.
Exactly. You can't get them to find out why.
They don't even give him a shot.
Let's talk about somebody who spoke last night, Ariel Rose. I think her name is. But let's go back to this for a second.
Because he's the first one that is not a politician to ever be in office.
20%. 20% of this country believes that he's Hitler. That if he's back in office, that he's going to reintroduce slavery, that he's going to do away with he's going to be a dictator, et cetera, et cetera. So if you honestly believed that he was Hitler, wouldn't you lie or cheat so that he didn't get elected? Would you turn in extra ballots to stop Hitler? If you knew it was Hitler, maybe this kid's a lone crazy gunman. And he says, you know what? I'm going to save the world. Because if you could go back to 1933 and you had a rifle and you could climb up on a roof and kill Hitler and stop what Hitler did, in your mind, you'd be a hero.
No,
and maybe
crazy.
that's what happened.
People are posting TikToks about the guy that did it, and then the comments are like, wow, like, you did what I wish I could do. I hope to meet you one day. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and did you see what just came out? Did you see what just came out too? Jack Black was on tour, and his bandmate or whatever said, next time, make sure you don't miss. And then, like, the crowd, like, awkwardly laughs.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't, like, miss Trump.
Yeah.
And then Jack Black just came out today. He canceled the rest of his tour because he got so much backlash.
But so much of the country is...
Jack Black didn't say it.
Nacho Libre, man.
But it was his friend. It was his bandmate that said it. And Jack Black was like, oh, man, you fudged up, buddy. He had to cancel the rest of his tour.
So let's go back to the question you asked about the Secret Service, and you were joking about it. Go ahead.
Or let it go. Keep it flowing wherever we go.
Wait, this. You're saying that they want to lie and cheat, you're saying...
I would do that. If I honestly 100% was convinced that he was Hitler, I would cheat on the election. I would gather hundreds of ballots if I could.
Yeah, and listen to what just came out. Let me play this video right here. Let me play this video.
The current president of the United States, who has just opened our border to 9 million illegals, just announced that he would veto a bill to prevent non-citizens, illegals, from voting. So basically what he's saying is he wants non-citizens of America to vote. So if you're from Europe, you're from Australia,
But pretty much they open the borders, like the border. That's a big thing going on right now. People
no,
are just coming in every which way, right?
Yeah.
How do they just open it?
And now there was a bill
Nah.
that was proposed to pretty much say you need to be a citizen to vote, which, I mean,
That vote went before Congress. 5 Democrats voted for that bill. Only 5.
Exactly.
The Congress is
how
split
many are
about
there?
50-50. There's
How many are there?
450 some. So it's split pretty much 50-50. 5 voted. So the other ones could not vote to stop illegal.
only 5
illegals.
voted to stop
It. The rest of them voted against the bill.
And it's like,
And if it passed, Biden said he would. I'm all for immigration. You know,
You married
I'm,
an
I'm
immigrant.
I'm second generation. You're first generation.
And you married an immigrant.
You were born here. Your mom, your mom and her family fought to get here. We need to tell that story sometime on this podcast. She was literally adrift at sea with 13 family members and rescued by the Marines. They're here to become Americans. They didn't come here to make America Vietnam.
Yeah.
Right? And you've got cousins right now in Vietnam that have been in line for 16 years, going through the immigration process legally for 16 years, that are being denied application to the United States. If they could go down to the border, they could just walk in. And once they're in, the lawyer told us it's almost impossible to get them out.
Yeah.
He said, get them to Mexico and let them walk in. So I don't know. You said, how is he letting the? There's no process at the border. People come across the border. They're given a notice to appear. 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, you're not going to show up for court 5 years from now when you're asked to.
If you can just, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you can just walk in, why? Because they flew here, right? Why couldn't they just stay?
Who?
Our cousins.
No, they can't. They can't. You can't leave. You can't. Vietnam's a communist country. They can't get a visa or a passport to leave, even a temporary. Like we just had cousins that were here from Vietnam last week, right? They got a 6-day or a 2-week visa to come and go back. This particular family is Ching and Chang's
We can go on to the Trump thing because this is a whole different thing. If
Yeah,
you want.
but
I was just curious of like, why don't people just fly in and then just stay?
But they can't get a visa to come for 2 weeks because they have nothing.
But how did they get here in the first place?
They have nothing back there, so the government is not going to let them leave if they're not coming back.
So they didn't come over.
No,
Oh, they didn't. Okay.
no, they've never been.
Okay.
They've never been here. They can't leave. If they had a house and had some money in the bank, they had family back there, they would have something to go back. They have no reason to go back. So they can lie, but they're not going to get the visa because it is not believed that they'll go back. So let's go back to the hiring in the Secret Service. Because again, I keep saying they're heroes.
I still want you to hit that joke that you said earlier.
That's what I'm trying to do, man.
You're setting it up, and it's
also
taking a minute to set
also
it.
this though.
Because this guy keeps interrupting our podcast. This is our podcast. You're a guest.
Keep going.
I'll tap you on the shoulder when I want you to speak.
Okay.
No, so
IBD is actually the future president of the United States. He's practicing giving speeches, so he's giving a speech right now.
No, but there's been a lot of said about this hiring based on gender, sex, race, et cetera, versus merit, versus the best person for the job.
Yeah.
So you look there, and there's been a lot of talk about some chaos with the women that were guarding Trump, and the girl couldn't put her gun in the holster right or whatever, and they look discombobulated. No, they're all heroes. They would jump in front of the president. They did to protect his life. I like to believe if somebody was after you guys, I would do what that father did and jump on top of his wife and his daughter and protect them, and he gave his life. There's a hero.
That's a hero.
Right? I believe if somebody came after you and mom was there, she would jump in front of you and take a bullet. That's what a parent does. That's what the Secret Service does. Your mom is 5'2". You're 5'11", you're 6'1". Mom can stand in front of you all day long. She's not protecting you. those women in that Secret Service yesterday that there were protecting Trump or to put their body in front of him. They're 5'5". That's not sexist not to hire some. I don't care if it's a man, black, white, gay, straight. If they're 5'5", they're not standing in front of somebody 6'4" and protecting him. I mean, they can protect him if he's going to get hit in the nuts. That's about it. If a midget comes up on stage to punch Trump in the nuts, that's who you want. But other than that, no, I'm serious. You're not going to stand. You're not going to.
There you go.
Is that it?
You're not going to be 5'5".
In the car, he hit it crazy because it became like natural, and he was just like, the only thing she protecting is his nuts. But it's not even. We're laughing about it because like he lived. Because he lived. But also, there's other people that didn't live. So I think it's disrespectful for people to say, "Oh, they said they did this whole thing, and it was like a."
There's another conspiracy that it was a setup to make Trump look good.
That's what I thought it was at first because I thought no one died, and I was like, "How? There's no way. There's a bunch of people behind him. Multiple shots are fired, and no one was injured." But then wait 24 hours, news comes out. Rest in peace to that father and other people that were.
Wait 24 hours. But
Have you seen the skit? Have you seen the skit where it's like they're standing there? These guys remake it. I don't know their names, but they're funny. And I think it was too soon, but I'm not gonna lie. I was like, dang, okay. They're standing there like this, and then Trump walks up, and then they put a sound effect in, and he like ducks, and then the guy, the Secret Service pulls out a bottle of ketchup, boom, 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 rubs it on his ear, and then he stands up and goes.
Yeah, again, we can laugh about it because he survived. But you know, you
also,
said
let's talk about the fact that if he did not slightly turn his head, or the shot was a little bit to the left, I think they said it was 0.05 seconds. If he would have been a little bit slower with his head tilt, goes straight directly through his brain.
So and
then what happens? And then what happens if it goes through his brain and President Trump got assassinated?
And then all hell breaks loose, and then all the patriots and everyone just
it's a civil war
going crazy.
Maybe
the right doesn't react that way, but I'd be afraid. I'd be afraid something like that is something completely different.
It would be so different.
And not only that, if he did get assassinated, then you go back and the conspiracy is there because you still have all this. How was all this allowed to happen? How was this so incompetent? How was this guy allowed to be on the roof while people are yelling, there's a sniper? So all that would be, they allowed him to be killed. But there's something I want you guys to pull up if you can. There's an overhead kind of animation of the brain. So Nick, if you look that way.
Yep. This is what Ricky was just talking about.
Yeah.
Look that way. And here's the bullet. And the bullet goes, I think it comes in the other direction, but it hits Nick's ear and it goes right past here. All right? Now look straight ahead at the audience. So President Trump was looking at a
He looks like the side,
screen.
Right?
So look at the screen. Same, the bullet goes, it hits him in the ear. But if he's looking straight ahead, it comes from the other way. But if he looks at the audience, straight at the audience, that same bullet trajectory takes out the back of his head. So it's, that's
the difference.
That's an act of God.
That's exactly what I wanted to talk about, because all of this is happening, and I saw another thing, and it was like God almost like it was an animation, and I don't know but it was like God's hand just like slightly moving him, and then it just grazes his ear. And what's crazy, I saw that this morning, and you can think whatever, things happen. Some people just see it as coincidences, and sometimes it's just.
I like it like. For him, yeah, but then what about for the father, though?
That's true. That's true.
You know? It's like...
That's true.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. It's a whole different story, though, but we were talking about that, too, because someone did die. But if the president of the not that no one's life is more valuable than anyone else's, but if the president of the United States gets shot in this situation, it's probably...
It would probably, there would be... Probably big.
That's a good point, though.
Go crazy.
That's how World War I started. I mean, there was assassination of Archduke Ferdinand, just one, and it set off World War I. I mean, who knows what would have?
It would have
happened.
Bad.
Or now look at this. Again, whether there was incompetence or deliberate, I'd like to believe it was incompetence.
Yeah.
Right, but either way, we have enemies in this world. China, Russia, Iran. They're going to be sitting there looking, this 20-year-old kid almost took out presidential candidate.
And
how
this kid-
easy is it
he-
for us to do that?
And he didn't he not make the shooting team for his own high school?
I've heard that too.
Oh, so that wasn't real?
Oh, I don't know. That may be.
Apparently, he was in a BlackRock commercial too.
That I saw. Yes, he
Yeah.
was. So you want to talk conspiracy? Was he set? Was he
No,
set
I was
up?
going to say something, but after you said that with the thing, it's like, yeah, I mean, someone died. But this was just
Well, we
another...
were talking about that. If it was,
But also...
if it was a conspiracy and it was set up to make Trump look good,
I thought
and Ricky
that's what I
said,
thought.
how could they allow somebody to die?
Like some more real? That's a small
Look at
price.
this too, ready?
Small price to pay for them.
For them, they don't
If
care.
that-
If
was
that's
it.
how they are.
But if the other side, if it was the other way, and they were letting Trump, you're letting Trump die. But
Think about how
if
many
he were
people
to
they've
end,
killed.
if he were to end the war in Ukraine,
Who, Trump?
Trump,
Before
if
we-
he gets in office, ends the war in Ukraine, and disrupts the deep state, there are trillions with a T of dollars on the line. When Trump is elected, powers around the world, trillions of dollars will shift hands.
Yes.
Oh, you'll kill for $1 trillion.
Yeah, what did Central C say? We can go band for band. Lil Baby said we can go M for M. Trump said we can go B for B. The United States and Ukraine are going to say, let's go T for T.
T for T, buddy.
Tro for tro, bud.
Tea time.
T time, bud.
Pinky's out.
I don't
What's
know,
above
man.
a T? A quintillion?
Quadrillion.
Let's go for a Q for Q, bud. But this is what I was going to say. I'm going to say it anyway, because after you do make that good point of what is to them, they've killed, if all those conspiracy theories are true, they've killed presidents, they've killed running mates, they've killed multiple, I mean, the whole Jeffrey Epstein island, all the bad stuff that's happened from there. How many people have gone missing that were known from the Kennedys and all, not the Kennedys, the Clintons. You know, they just go missing. Like, it's so crazy that everyone around them just goes missing or dies randomly. Like,
Again,
from
you-
Very conveniently for them too.
not normal deaths. Not like, not normal. Like disappearing and like weird, like a plane.
Right when they're about to say some crazy stuff that might out them.
It's just weird to me. But this is what I saw, and take this as you will. But he was shot at 6:11 p.m. Ephesians 6:11. Put on the full armor of God.
Oh, wow.
So that you can take a stand against the devil's schemes.
That's crazy.
You need to put a link to the
Yeah,
prayer of the armor of God.
Of all
It's the
the
helmet of this.
verses it could have been, you know, it's just like
Yeah, that's crazy.
pretty wild. It reminds me of the time when Tim Tebow, what did he have? He was the most nationalized, televised, viewed college game of all time, I think. And it was Tim Tebow in the national
Yeah, I'm right.
championship. And I want to get this right, so you can keep
He
talking.
put John 3:16
under his eyes.
under his eyes.
And that game, everything was 316. He threw for 316 yards.
No, that wasn't the college game. So he did that in the college game, and it was the most searched thing, John 3:16, and people came to Christ because
Okay, yeah,
for
you're
God
right.
so loved the world, he gave his only son. Years later, he's in the playoffs, and he put it on again. And that, he averaged 3.16 yards a play. It was a 3-minute, 16-second drive. It was everything
Let me
lined
read
up.
it exactly.
Go ahead,
Here we
do
go.
that. Do that.
Because this is cool. On 2012, again, he wore John 3:16. He threw for 316 yards.
Yes.
For his 10 completions, his average yards per pass were 31.6. His average yards per carry, 3.16 yards.
Yeah.
It was like so crazy, the coincidences. And Tim Tebow, how much backlash did he get when he was playing in the NFL? And why do you get so much backlash?
Yeah. Right.
Like you can say what you want about Trump, but Tim Tebow, man,
Right.
great, like just a good dude. So it's like how, and people take stands for so many different things, and it's like if you want to be the queer, gay, transgender, they'll be so supportive. But if you just want to believe in God and take a subtle knee in the corner and say a prayer, they'll be like, no, and he's not even saying anything. So it's just weird why there's so much backlash against that
Against
specifically.
good.
It's just that specifically. There's not much backlash on anything else, really.
No.
Like everyone's always like, be whoever you want to be.
So there is good and evil in this world. There are good and evil spirits in this world. There is a battle of good and evil playing out in this world as we speak. And I think people's eyes are being opened more and more. And again, you guys have access to way more information than we did when I was younger. And I think you're growing up more skeptical. And some people say that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because you're looking for truth.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately out there, that's what we all want is truth. But I no longer feel that we can get that from the mainstream media. It's like I said,
true.
If you guys fake one overnight video, then you lose all credibility.
Yeah, you can't be, and this is another thing, going back to relationships, someone told me, they're like, you can't be loyal 364 days out of the year.
No.
Unless it's a leap year, but you know what I mean? 364, and there's 365 days. So if you're off one day, you're off. You're off, you know?
No, leap years is plus 1 day.
Is it leap year plus one?
It's +1.
Oh, well then even especially on a leap year.
You get 2 days to be disloyal. But no, you
can't do that, right?
You got to be consistent. You got to be congruent, right? And you have to, we talked about this before, you have to have those bumpers, like if you were playing bowling, right? You have those bumpers, and you stay inside the lines. You color inside.
Those,
You color inside the lines, and sometimes you have to have those in your mind first, because you'll be in a situation where you're a husband or wife, or you're dating a girl, or whatever, and you find yourself in a situation where you could easily give in if you haven't set those lines ahead of time.
And
Maybe try this. Maybe
too.
try this drug just once.
The lines can be worn down.
Yeah.
If they're not firm, you have to keep drawing the line every day, or every time you get. Like one thing I promised myself when I was little, I was like, I'm never gonna do cocaine. Because I'm like, dude, every story I've heard from that, it's so bad, and you'd be surprised how many people think they never will, and then they seem like really good people, and they'll do it. And it's
look
just
up Len Bias.
Yeah, one time. That's why I'll never do it, because it's like that. The stuff where it can be one time, and that can be the last time.
Especially now with fentanyl inside the drugs.
Yeah.
But Len Bias, you guys are all too young. I know we've talked about. Len Bias was a great basketball player for University of Maryland.
This guy's a living cyclopedia.
Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan. LeBron James before LeBron James. He was built like a linebacker.
Who again?
He was a beast.
LeJon Reigns?
LeBron James.
Little John Wayne.
I got a cold. So, but anyway, so Lenny Bias. Lenny Bias.
Yes, I know the story, yeah.
First pick of the Boston Celtics. Went out and celebrated that night with his teammates.
Yeah.
And took a line of cocaine for the first time. First pick of the Boston Celtics. Dropped dead.
And very in shape, like top tier athlete.
No, he was Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
I don't even think it was because it was laced either, which is the problem nowadays. It's just because his heart reacted different, and everyone reacts. Nick's about to say something.
No, keep going.
His body reacted different, and you don't. If it's the one time thing, like I'm not gonna lie. Ever since we've been in this country time, we've had a couple of beers with the boys to get a little vibe, you know. But I don't think that's a bad thing as long as you don't let it control you. But there's certain things where it's like you have to say you never will do that. Because if the moment comes up and the thing is, people, we're weak. We're so weak. We're so fragile as human beings. We think we're strong.
Man.
Even the strongest dude in the world is weak, dude. Like it takes one bullet and you're done. It takes a knife and you're done. It takes you tripping in front of a car and you're done.
For that guy.
Like we think we're strong. We're so weak. So it's like in a moment of weakness, we fall short and we succumb to our desires, and then boom.
So,
he had a question. Nope,
come on, man.
Come on, he had a question.
Go ahead.
Dude, quick little story right here while they're giving me some time. Thank you for the time. Quick little story. I was in the elevator yesterday, and this guy, there's like it looked like a little ripped off piece of paper about this big just on the ground, and he picks it up, and I was like, oh, what was that? And then he looks at me, he gives me one of these. He's like, whatever it was definitely snortable. He dropped a little bag of cocaine in the elevator.
Oh, he dropped it.
Yeah, he dropped it and he picked it up. And I was like, oh.
Dang.
But I don't know.
Well, you talk about weak and strength, right? And you guys.
I had a crazy transition into another funny story.
But you're talking about strength and weakness?
Bag of cocaine.
It's a good transition. I could still hit it.
Go ahead.
And then we can go back, or it's a whole different story.
I got CRS, by the way, guys. And that's why I interrupt, because if I wait to make my point, I'm going to forget it because I have CRS. I can't remember stuff.
But guess what? I realized this too. If you keep saying that, you're never going to be the person that remembers. You have to start telling yourself.
You're correct.
You're going to believe that. And I feel like you started to believe that. or you just use it as an excuse so you can keep talking.
Says the
I'm
one.
just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
All right, strength.
you
No,
go
you were
ahead,
talking
you go
about
ahead.
strength though.
Yeah, you go ahead.
And you guys
Let me go.
you guys are built up and you're in the gym now and you're really working out. And you
Yeah.
exercise
yeah,
to be
so,
strong.
Wrong.
You have to exercise your mind to be
Yes.
strong, and you have to exercise your faith to be strong. You have to exercise your faith. You have to exercise your relationship to be strong. So strength doesn't just come from the gym, you know. Exercise in all aspects of your lives. But
That was very good. That was very good. Because you never see your brain. No one's ever seen their own brain.
Exactly. It's that, yeah.
We've seen other people's brains, but we've never seen our own. Like actually physically seen it,
You
right?
never see your actual face either. If you ever think about that, you know that you only see pictures of it or it in the mirror or like a video of it. You don't see the actual face.
it's deep.
And you don't see the brain growing either. Like physically, you can see yourself and be like, I'm growing. But your brain, like you don't be like, it's like a, you know what I mean? It's a feeling.
When you go to the
It's
gym,
not-
it's easier you see the change.
you see your bicep getting crazy and your leg staying the same because you skip leg day, you know? Not you. I'm just saying like everyone. But
Legs yesterday.
I did too for the first time this year.
Did you talk about this?
Yeah, last
Did they?
episode.
You did? Okay.
But
Yeah.
speaking of dropping things, right? Because you were talking about that a couple paragraphs ago.
Yeah.
I was at church the other day, and I had my button up on. I was feeling good, and I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, taking a little piss, whatever. I have my sunglasses, my favorite pair, tucked right in my shirt, right in my button up. I finished taking that piss. I lean forward to flush the toilet. Boop. Click the button. As I'm leaning over, in unison, the glasses fall right into the toilet. And no joke, I reach for it. It falls perfectly. If it fell sideways, a little bit angle, goes straight down. Like it was so fluid. And I just stand there like, I didn't even get mad because I was like, dang, man, you hate to see
You
it.
hate to see that. I didn't even
Like
know
how
they could
many
fit
times have
down
I
there.
clogged a toilet? And they were big sunglasses, and they didn't. I was like, how did they not clog? I don't know. But yeah,
You reach down and dig for it?
I did.
You
I
did?
tried, and then I was like, I gotta stop. And then I washed my hands and went in. You hate to see it though.
I want to say this before I get while I have some time right here. Man,
get
if Trump loses, I'm gonna find it hard to believe, to be honest, after this, if he makes it to the election, because I feel like the amount of support and everyone's rallying behind him now. Like the $3 million was already raised for that family, for that father.
That was
his family.
yesterday. It's more now, I'm sure.
Yeah. So it's like there's so many people behind it. If he doesn't win, then it's going to be hard to believe that it's not rigged.
People show up for Trump. Trump can go anywhere and pull thousands. Trump could go to the Raymond James Stadium or any NFL stadium and probably pack it out now at this point. If he said, I'm going to have a rally,
There were 55,000 people at that place.
yeah, that's more than the stadium. I think the Raymond James is like
65,
Is it?
75,
Okay.
yeah.
But if he said, yo, I'm doing Raymond James Stadium, any NFL stadium, which are like the biggest stadiums, and he's like, tomorrow, he probably has the whole thing sold out packed.
Yeah.
Biden probably couldn't even pack the local rec center.
Well, Biden,
And I'm not
That's
even
what I'm-
kidding. I'm not
That's
even
what
kidding.
It doesn't make sense.
Biden was in that interview with George Stephanopoulos, and he talked about. He said,
Yeah.
I've got the support. I'm not dropping out. I've got the support.
Yeah.
He said, I show up. There's 1,000 people there. You ever seen anybody draw people like that?
No.
And even Stephanopoulos said,
maybe.
you can't compare crowd size with
It could
Trump.
be a
Don't
possibility,
go
though.
there, because Trump draws 50,000. You know,
But maybe people just hate Trump so much that maybe they don't love Biden. They don't show up for Biden. Maybe they hate him. So then they're going to.
so let's talk about Ariel
That's
Rose.
That's a thing too.
Do you guys know who Ariel Rose is?
No.
I believe she's an OnlyFans star. She's not
Ruby
pro-life.
Rose? Ruby Rose?
Ruby Rose. Maybe that's
Oh,
it. Ruby Rose.
Where'd you get Ariel?
I don't know.
The fighting.
Obviously, I don't know.
mermaid?
The fighting mermaid. So obviously, I don't know. I know of her, but I don't know much about her.
You haven't seen her content.
She's
spicy?
she's not
Spicy.
pro-life. She's black girl, young woman.
Whoa.
And she spoke last night, at the
So we.
RNC convention.
Oh, wait, for real?
Somebody,
Republican National
the Republican National Convention.
She spoke at
And
it?
she said she believed that Trump was a racist. She believed every hateful thing about Trump. And her dad said, prove it to me. Show me an example. And she said she dug into it just to rub it in his face and show. And the more she dug, the more she fell in love with Trump. And then she went to an event and saw that she was accepted for who she was.
Yeah.
And then she began being hated by the left. And then she said she put her red hat on. It's a great speech.
Wow.
It's
that's
a great
actually
speech
pretty
from
crazy.
somebody who you would not believe, you know, that had made that transition.
Yeah.
You know, you can.
She's one of the biggest.
Is she?
On that.
That site.
Yeah. Not a fan of this, obviously.
But I am a fan of that shirt, which
But
you
you
can
can-
get at ibpmerch.com. Link in description.
Right below the link to the music video.
Correct. But you can hate the sin, but love the sinner. Right? I think that's what Jesus did. Hate the sin, but love the sinner. Accept the sinner. Don't accept the sin.
Oh, yeah.
They can always grow.
There's
Correct.
always growth. Yeah.
We've all
Speaking
made
of growth.
mistakes. I've got stuff I would never want anybody in my life to know about.
Sketch.
But I like to believe that I'm forgiven.
The truth will set you free.
The truth will set you free.
Yeah.
So let's
Neon-
open up this panel. Let's open this up and say everything you never wanted to say right now. Just kidding. Just kidding.
That's a whole nother podcast, brother.
Dude, Neon, Sam, you know Sam Frank? You probably have no idea who we're talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking
You do?
about.
Sam Frank?
Unfortunately,
And
Sam
Neil?
Frank was
Jack's
Jack
friend.
Doherty's old girlfriend, old neighbor,
Fake girlfriend.
fake girlfriend.
Right? Well,
Yeah.
she was doing OnlyFans.
She's dating Neon.
Yeah,
right?
she's
Is
dating Neon?
She really having a kid?
Oh, I didn't hear that. Neon? Ain't no way. Neon,
That's what I heard.
not with
Neon,
Neon.
baby daddy.
Neon being a father, no.
I don't really hear about all that too much anymore. I don't know what they're...
But apparently, so Neon and Sam, they're still dating. They got back together, and Sam actually stopped doing OF content. She stopped doing OF.
Dang, really?
Yeah.
What's she doing now?
She's like streaming now.
That's dope.
Streaming.
What did she talk about? Why she stopped?
Honestly, I think Neon was like you don't have to keep doing that.
Like you already made so much money.
You already made so much money. You don't have to keep doing that. And she was like, yeah, I didn't even really like want to do that.
Look at that too. Crazy. Everyone around that whole thing.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like the truth. We were just the first ones to speak out on the whole Jack Doherty situation. And when you're the first one, sometimes people hate and say all these things. But look at everyone leaving because they don't really want it.
No.
Because the only reason why you're doing it is you don't love. No, if you love to do that, I don't know. But
I could see why people do it. A little
I do-
sacrifice for a little bit, make a little baggy bounce.
but it's a
Yeah, but
it's
you're
it's a hit and dip.
sacrificing. You don't have those guardrails, so you're
It's a hit and dip,
sacrificing
though.
your soul.
They look at it like a hit and dip, I think. But some people just never dip.
The end
They keep
justifies the means. You can't ever do the end justifies the means. You can't do
But it's
what
hard.
you know
but,
is
it's hard
wrong.
but also, we can see how hard it would be to turn down millions of dollars. Like I do see that perspective. Like if you're guaranteed millions of dollars, and all
because
you have to do
you don't have those guardrails. What's more important? Success in this life or success in the afterlife?
and you have to believe that. And if you don't believe that, you have a different set of guardrails, which I
Maybe
can
you don't
see.
have a soul, or you've lost your soul,
Maybe she found it.
and you can always be found.
And she found a couple M's in that bank account after too.
But what's a couple M's to Trump?
So Trump's starting an OnlyFans? No, please.
It probably
He'd probably go crazy, and he could just post pictures of his ear.
I tell
I
you
know
what,
you-
as
you could go on
crazy
for
as the
days.
world is right now, I get together with some friends on Thursday
No,
night.
I'm good.
Called Bourbon and Cigars. And one thing we always say is, it's a good time to be old. Because it's a crazy time in this world, man.
It's
And
an
where
exciting
we're going,
world.
Yeah.
it is. You know what the good thing is with all the chaos and the ups and
No,
downs?
I don't want Trump to start.
We know the end of the
OnlyFans.
story.
That's-
So if you know the end of the story, God is in control. You offer up to him what you can't control because he can control it. And you know all things turn out for good. So all this in between, we're just along for a ride.
What do you think is going to happen in November?
You know, last time they tried to assassinate a president was Ronald Reagan, and you can look up the map, and he won every state but Minnesota. I mean, it should be a landslide for Trump, I believe. Trump's got 28% of the African-American vote. Historically, of a Republican, if they get more than 10%, it's over. That's huge. He's got more than half the Hispanic vote, I believe. That's enough for it to be over. It should be over. And even if Joe Biden wins, you're voting for Kamala Harris. You got to realize that, because Joe Biden, I hope he lives another 5 years, but I wouldn't want to put odds on it.
I find it hard to believe if it was the Democrat side, like there's a leak in the Secret Service or something that's set up, and he wasn't just like a random person that wanted to be a hero that shot Trump, right?
I don't want to believe that.
Believe what?
That it was an inside job somehow.
But I'm saying
that it was.
Believe that they wouldn't try and do it again, no?
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Like, what's stop? Not finished.
Exactly. Because trillions of dollars and power around the world.
What are you laughing at?
No,
bro?
it's just like the way that you just said that. I don't know why you're like, because trillions.
Well, because
It
honestly,
just sounds
trillions of dollars are on the line.
I didn't mean to laugh.
And world power is on the line. Yes, you will finish the job.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think there's going to be another attempt?
If you had to bet,
and man, even if it,
there almost has to be, unless it was just gross incompetence.
Multiple attempts on JFK?
No, there's whether it was one or two bullets.
Man, the memes I have seen.
There's not. There was only one attempt on him, huh?
A successful attempt, yeah.
Dude, the memes I've seen. Oh man, should I say
Trump?
him or no?
Of Trump?
No, the killers,
yeah, go ahead.
The killers.
Oh,
the killers of who?
No, maybe not. Too soon.
Yeah.
No, okay. Wait, how did the person that shot at Trump? How did he die? They shot him. Secret Service?
Instant, bro. Did you
Blew
see
his
it?
head off.
Instant.
Listen
but
to
I thought you said they.
As soon as they shot, they said, "Forget the orders, bro." Because this is what
Did
happened.
I read that?
I thought you said that they didn't. I thought you said
They lit.
No, he
Dude,
said he shot anyway.
the video was like this.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the video.
The Secret Service that shot him said he got order saying don't shoot.
Do you have the video?
And he shot anyway.
No, it's a clip of a.
Because this is how it is.
So they knew where he was already.
They were trained. They had him on glass. They had 3 of snipers on glass.
What does that mean?
It means like they were in their sights.
the sight.
The Secret Service had him on glass in sight. Boom. 3 of them were trained, waiting to take the shot. They were radioing him, seeing if he would be on the same frequency as them and if he was like an undercover or something. They were trying to get him for 3 minutes. He wasn't answering. That's what me and Dad were saying earlier. Trump should have been off after 30 seconds. If he's not
take
answering,
him off.
take him off and then reconvene.
Figure it out later.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They waited 3 minutes from the moment he popped up. They had him on site, and they couldn't get to him. And for whatever reason, they didn't shoot. And as soon as he shoots, he takes like 3 shots, I think. He goes boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a 2-second delay, and they light him up. And it's like, it goes like this. Boom. This is the bad guy. I'll do this. And then this is the good guy. Ready? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And then he was done. But
But they were looking right. They were
Yeah, no, they knew.
That's what you're saying. They didn't know if he was a good guy or.
But that's it's
for 3 minutes though.
They knew though. That's the problem.
Did he
They knew it was a guy with
They
a gun.
knew.
So
because
at that
it's not.
point,
If they didn't look,
you feel like you would know
Communication.
what they look like, the people on your team look like, or what they're wearing, right?
450.
no, because the Secret Service delegates that out to local law enforcement. So there was so if it was legit, there was a lack of communication, and they don't want to shoot a friendly.
Yeah.
Right. But again, when you can't get it confirmed, get the president off the stage and figure it out, and you can bring him back. I'm going to read this.
And let me add on to that, though, because the reason why they have to confirm and they can't just shoot right away now is from what I've heard and talked to some people about, is because I think it was the Boston bombing.
Boston Marathon bombing.
Oh, no. Was it the Oklahoma? It was one of
Boston.
Okay, it was the Boston bombing. 3 plainclothes police officers were killed that day because, and plainclothes meaning they were wearing regular people's clothes, like IBD. They were wearing that.
Maybe like you.
Maybe like me, yeah. Maybe like you.
Nobody's wearing that.
But whatever, they're called plainclothes police officers, so they fit in the crowd, and they're not identifiable by because then the bomber
they're undercover.
They're undercover basically.
Okay, yeah.
So they're plainclothes. As soon as the bomb goes off, they draw, and they're trying to assess the situation and trying to find the bad guy. 3 of them got killed because people thought they were bad. They thought they were the bomber
Because they look like.
because they just look like a regular dude.
Somebody with a gun.
They don't have the uniform. They don't have the police uniform, and they don't have Secret Service uniform. They're just a regular dude with a gun out after something just exploded.
Yeah.
So they got killed, and after that, the protocol changed. And I think after this, the protocol is going to change. There should have been, at the very least, a helicopter in the air, and at the very least, a couple drones in the air, and people surveilling.
Where is all this? The infrared stuff. All this
Like,
stuff.
they
is
don't know
missing.
That's
just
They
crazy.
pulled a helicopter. They pulled a helicopter.
Bombs in the dude's car too, apparently. Or
And at his home.
explosives.
And at his home.
They pulled a helicopter when we threw a big party in L.A. They had a helicopter because there was a big party in L.A. And they're like,
The
"Oh, what's going
helicopter
on?"
got Jack Juke Squad when he was floating the Flamingo in L.A. down the sewer.
And you're
They
telling
had
me you can't
helicopters.
put a helicopter out there while the president of the United States is giving a speech? And if you don't want to put a helicopter, put a couple drones. The drones have cameras. You can look on top of these buildings.
Yeah.
And if you see someone climbing up, have someone just watching it the whole time and yo, there's someone climbing on top of the roof. Identify yourself, and boom. And then it's crazy to me. I don't think it was
Such incompetence.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many things that went wrong.
And again,
That's
had he
why-
been killed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then all these things would have been talking
Yeah,
about it being
like,
a setup
better
because of all
though.
these things that went wrong.
And he just announced his running mate. Who is this guy?
JD Vance, let me read this. I don't know that this is real. This is supposedly a text from, and it was on a news site. I'm going to read it anyway. I did not follow orders, though. As soon as the shooter opened up on Trump, I returned fire despite orders not to engage. I had eyes on the shooter for 3 minutes, watching him fiddle with his rifle and adjust his scope. It was obviously he was a shooter, yet I was not allowed to engage. After I killed the shooter, I was arrested, questioned by the FBI, and released an hour ago. I already lost my job for not following orders. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I took the shots anyway.
Is that real?
Let me see.
I don't know that that's...
If that's true,
That'll come out. I mean, if the guy lost his job, if that's real. I don't want to believe that.
If
I
that's
wanna
real,
believe that
if that's
it's
real, then I say that it was all set. If that's real, I would say that's the only thing you need to know that's a setup, because you always err on the side of caution.
the taking him off the stage, that
like
would
look at
make
us.
a
We're
lot
not,
of sense.
We're not security, but instantly that's the first thing we were thinking of. Like, why
Well,
would
the
you
other
not?
thing is they said, in setting up that site, you don't have maybe there's not enough manpower. That's ridiculous. We spend trillions of dollars a year. There's got to be enough manpower to protect a future president somebody running for president. But to block that line of sight, they put up a wall of balloons. They put up a banner. They put up trucks in between, something to block that line of sight in case somebody were there. That's just standard routine practice. Is what I'm hearing from the experts. That wasn't.
They kept
done.
it wide
no
open.
drone.
And it's not like there was a bunch of buildings. Like JFK, when he got assassinated, he's driving through the city. There's a million different windows. There's literally a couple warehouses over to the right, and then that building in front.
And that's the biggest one.
Yeah. It's not. It wasn't a city. It wasn't downtown in a city, moving through the city. Like Kennedy
that would
was.
be way harder to protect.
For sure. You could be and think about driving outside your apartment here, right?
Yeah.
Any building, any window.
That's way harder.
What are you going to cover? Every building, every window? This building's what, 30 stories high?
But they do. But they still do that though.
Yeah.
When the president drives through, they have every building and eyes on every single rooftop, they have eyes on every single one, and you couldn't have eyes on one of the two buildings in the area.
Dude, 2 weeks ago, I brought Nick here. We dropped his car off, right? Yeah. And I'm driving him back to drop him off at the apartment. Nick says, turn here. There's fire trucks and police cars everywhere. Let's go a block. We go 3 blocks before we can make a left. We go up. We can see his apartment. Cops. We pull up. There's a motorcycle cop. Got the street blocked. And
they're like the whole street all the way down blocked.
Yeah. 3 blocks all around this building. And the cops like this turn around. And I'm like, we live right here in this building. Can we go? He said, turn around. I said, can we walk? He says, yeah, you can park and walk. What's going on? I can't tell you. Jill Biden, the president's wife, was in town, gave a speech, and then she stopped by this building or the coffee shop next door to have a cup of coffee. Everything shut down. We couldn't even get close. Yet this kid walks up with a rifle and climbs on the roof.
400 feet away? That's nothing.
Yeah.
They say, I don't know guns, I don't do shooting, but they say that's an easy shot.
They say that's an easy shot, and the JFK one was the impossible shot. Like moving through the city at a decent rate of speed through the window, and the angle of that shot it was almost impossible. That's why they don't.
So you talk about sniper.
Mazda crafts cars for those who choose to do more. The CX-50 Hybrid lets you go farther.
Choose what feels right. Shop Roger BC Mazda today. 3 locations. Roger BC Mazda.
Dove Men Plus Care Whole Body Deo protects you everywhere. Everywhere.
I don't like that.
I just got to bring this guy up because I don't know if anybody in your audience heard it, but I was listening to an interview with the world record sniper.
Oh yeah, this is
he
interesting.
He holds the record for the world's longest successful sniping mission. I guess I don't know what you would call it, but he said there's no way that this failure happened without some kind of setup. But this guy, he holds the record 2.1 miles. Fires his rifle 2.1 miles away and gets a successful kill.
That's the longest?
Yeah.
That's the longest. He's a Canadian from the Canadian military.
No, that's like
10,000 feet.
You almost got to take into
It's 25 times longer than this.
You got to take in the curvature of the earth at that point, unless you're a flat earther. But no, I'm serious. This guy.
Yeah, that's an insane. That's. I wonder how much time is in between. How fast does a bullet move? 10,000 feet.
I have no idea. That's a good thing to look up. But no.
But you have to adjust for so much. This was like you could have hit a nice Nerf gun. Could have made it this far.
So I don't know how you guys want to end this.
20 minutes to run that far.
I don't know how you guys want to end this, but we end it any way you want. It's not my podcast, even though I kind of took over. But when we get to an end, and you can cut this out what I'm saying now if you want. But I wouldn't mind seeing us end in prayer.
Right.
For peace and civility in this nation. We do that?
Right.
Yeah, you want
We ready?
2,000
Father,
2,070 feet per second for a bullet.
Heavenly Father, we
And the
thank you for our blessings and our opportunities, for our family and our friends.
Surround
Crazy
300
times, we know you're in control.
3,000
Heavenly Father, we
kilometers
pray for
per
peace
hour.
and prosperity for this nation. Whoever's in control,
Damn. That's
pray for your will to be
damn.
done.
That's
And
fact.
keep us safe, keep our leaders safe. Let's have civil discourse from now until the election, and may your will be done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Yeah.
Well, with that, thank you guys for tuning in on the It Is What It Is podcast, or as we like to call it now, the Ireland Boys Dad podcast.
Correct.
Thank you for that speech, IBD. It was a great time. Thank you for the prayer at the end, and thank you for the insight and knowledge that you dropped. And if you guys want to see IBD back on another episode, maybe more of a casual, just talking like with the boys episode, or if there's a specific thing you want to learn about,
Podcast
let us know in the comments down below. We love you guys. And until next time, it is what it is.
It is. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
And make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to see more podcast episodes like this one. I will see you all there, guys. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.